All right, the
morning.
Committee of Pros called to order today. It's 11:03 a.m. Thursday, March 16th. My name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Mr. Marabella, Mr. Freeman. Will be your panel of staff reports at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. Our remote location is Orleans with staff and support at Orleans. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning, Parole Board. This is Deputy Tate, and I have before you three gentlemen that's up for parole hearing today. And they are
The first one we'll have is Mr. Christopher Foucha.
okay. Come on, Mr. Foucha. Gentlemen, y'all step out for me, please.
And we have Mr. Jonathan Delman and Mr. Brian Larson will be here to speak at the appropriate time. Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
My name is Christopher Foucha. My DOC number is 723-932. 723-932.
And do you have a parole revocation questionnaire in front of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's your signature at the bottom.
Yes, sir.
You read and write?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna read some charges, rule violations. You plead guilty, not guilty, guilty with a statement, or not guilty with a statement. We'll ask you questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You have your social worker here and your attorney here. Mr. Delman, at the appropriate time, if you need to chime in, you can, or if you'd like to make a statement at the end, that's fine as well. Okay. Christopher Foucha, DOC number 723-932. Rule violation. Rule violation number 4. On January 30th, 2023, you turned yourself into Orleans Justice Center after being notified of having an outstanding warrant for domestic abuse battery from New Orleans Police Department. The office date for the initial incident was August 1st, 2021. It is evident from the arrest that you failed to refrain from criminal conduct. The charges were refused by the Orleans District Attorney's Office on February 3rd, 2023. The stay-away order was dissolved by magistrate court on February 6th, 2023. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty.
Not guilty. Okay. Would you answer Mr. Freeman's question, please?
Okay.
I'm sorry. Is it yours or? Yes,
Yeah,
Freeman.
mine. Okay, Mr. Foucha, how long were you out on parole before you, but you say you turned yourself in, but actually you went to get a license and they found out they had this pending charge, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how long were you out before you got, how long were you on parole?
I was on parole I was out for 3 years. 3 years.
Okay, and how long was your original sentence?
I had 10 years. 10 years.
And how long you been in now? 3 months? Approximately 3 months since you got picked up?
It's been 2 months.
Okay. All right. First off, I've read your whole arrest report and everything. I see where the victim and yourself, Ms. Blackwell, y'all have a child together, correct?
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, she brags about how great of a father you are, and y'all are co-parenting with this child, correct?
Yes, sir.
What is y'all current relationship, you and Ms. Black?
Our current relationship is great. We I financially help her. I mentally help with the kid, with my son. Our physical help with her. It's caring, is loving. Our current relationship.
Okay. So, but y'all have no romantic relationship at this time?
No, sir. No, sir.
You ever see y'all having one again?
I haven't really thought about it. You know, I just thought it was best that we just co-parenting like we're doing. I think it's just great for us right now, but I'm never gonna say never. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, did you do any drugs, alcohol when you were out on the streets this time?
No, sir.
Okay. tell me exactly what happened. Now, tell me the truth, because if you tell me the truth, I'm leaning one way. If I see where you're lying, I got the arrest report, okay?
Yes, sir.
I may start to lean the other way. So tell me exactly what happened between you and her over a year ago.
Honestly, what exactly happened, her and I, we went to a wedding. We went to a wedding reception for one of my managers at my business. And we ended up having a disagreement. We had a disagreement about, she was like, I was at the wedding reception, and a lot of people were speaking to me, congratulating me on my business. And it was like, congratulations, congratulations. She said, I'm not fond of you talking to women and letting them congratulate you like that. I said, well, I'm doing, you know, I'm a business person and I have to speak to them. And then she got upset. She had a drink or two. I told her, I think it's best that you slow down drinking right now, you know, because you haven't been out since 6 months, you know, since you had our kid. Our kid was 6 months at the time. I said, I think it's best that you slow down. She was like, no, I'm okay. This and that and the other. And so when we got there, she said, I don't want you. I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna we started having a altercation slightly. We had an altercation. I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving. I said, my house is 4 blocks from the event. So I said, I just walk home. She said, no, you're not. So when I walked out, she followed behind me. And when we got out, she was like, I told her, I don't want you to leave. You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. I said, well, baby, I gotta go because you're out of hand right now. You know, you're getting mad that I'm speaking to people, you know. And she was, before we could do anything or argue, an event deputy pulled around. He was like, is anything okay? In my mind, that was my chance to walk away. I said, okay, he's here, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk away. So when I was unaware that she talked to him any longer or told him anything about me having a warrant or anything out, she was unaware. She called me the next day and was like, oh my God, what happened? This, that, and the other. She said, I think I done some bad. I'm not sure what I told him or this, that, and the other. I said, what you do? She said, I think I told the police on you. I'm not fine. I'm not sure what I told him, but I think so. I had a friend of mine up in the court system. I asked her, I said, do I have any record or anything showing that? She was like, yeah, I believe you do. And I was like, damn. And I called her, I was like, they say I have a record, you reported me, this, that, and the other. And she was like, I don't remember. And then after that, I said, well, damn, I just opened up my business, Bayou School of Rentals. I was like, in a month or two, I'm gonna turn myself in once I show them how to operate, because this is new to us. I never been through no situation like this. She never been through a situation, so I didn't know what would possibly happen. And so I called a friend of mine in the police department, and she was like, you don't have anything on you. You don't have anything on you. But I know if I wanted to travel and bring my business to Texas, I had to get permission from my parole officer. So I went down to get a ticket and I asked him, can you pull my record and see if I have anything on me when I turn myself in? I said, can y'all pull my record? If anything on me, I'm ready to just get this over with.
Okay, no, not be totally honest with me. Did y'all ever put y'all hands on each other?
We never physical put our hands on each other. We had a verbal altercation. She know I'm totally against putting our hands on each other or anything like that. And I explained that to my daughter and my son a lot, because I came up where I was in a household where my parents kind of like, I have trauma from that.
Okay, well, the arrest report, I mean, in the statement, I mean, she says you did put your hands on her, you grabbed her by the back of the neck.
No, I never put my hands on her. And that's the totally honest truth. I never touched her. I don't have a record for hurting anybody, assault or anything.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you what the statement says. I mean, she's all in your favor of getting out. But she definitely says and I want the truth. It's time to tell it.
Yeah, I promise I never put my hands on her.
Grabbed her behind the neck and she fell to her knee.
No, sir, I never put my hands on her. She told me she don't much remember what she told them, but I never put my hands on her and never would put my hands on anybody in my life.
Okay, is she supposed to testify today or not?
I'm not sure. I know she was working, but I'm unsure. I'm not sure.
Sir, he could probably give some information.
Okay. I have no further questions.
All right, we'll hear from, social worker, Mr. Lars. Would you like to make a statement?
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, my name is Brian Lars. I'm a social worker employed at the Orleans Public Defender's Office. And I've been working here for about 4 years, and I work with formerly incarcerated individuals to prepare reentry plans and do mitigation. I just want to say that I completed an assessment on Mr. Foucha, and I can assure you that we can provide the necessary case management needed to help him make progress. I'm a huge fan of Mr. Foucha. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've met with him, I put the man I was in, I've met with him on several occasions to build a working relationship with him while he's been incarcerated. He was easily engaged, actively participated in each one of our sessions. This is something that I always I ask my clients, no matter what the situation is, I always ask my clients, I say, do you think that you could have responded in a way that would have prevented you from being in a situation? It's called the miracle question, and we use this in social work a lot. And I always ask all my clients the same question, and I believe that Mr. Foucha can allude to some of the things that we discuss. For one thing, I did give him this advice, and it's based on my personal life experience and just, mentoring several men, young men, to never argue with a woman. To never argue with a woman. But with that being said, I put some steps in place to assist Mr. Foucha in the event that he's released, and this plan is specifically catered to Mr. Foucha's needs. Listen, he's been productive in the community. He opened a business. He hasn't had any infractions in over 3 years. I mean, since he's been out. He's employed young folks around the city of New Orleans, and included in this packet, some of those folks have also submitted letters of support. But to build on some of the things that me and Mr. Foucha have established initially, as a social worker, I put in place, I referred him to cater prevention and recovery. Now, this is just to build on some coping skills, and they included that letter. They included some correspondence confirming that he will be that he will be accepted in their program. And, he could participate in anger management, domestic violence classes, and coping skills, if he need that. This is just something that we just gonna put in place. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that he has the coping skills to deal with any kind of future occurrences. Also, we work very closely with CADA, and also another agency that we work very closely with is First 72 Plus. They offer mentoring, and young men could participate in peer support groups and learn life and coping skills as well. Our office will also coordinate with probation and parole in a support system to maximize, support in the event that any crisis might occur. Mr. Foucha, I think that he'll be able to establish his business. His a business partner is currently facilitating and functioning the business operations. Mr. Foucha will have daily access to support daily access from this office to support him in making difficult decisions. He can call me anytime. Anytime. I'm there for Mr. Foucha because, like I mentioned, I'm a big fan of him, and I believe in him. All the work that I do with him will be complemented by other social workers and client advocates who work on the client services, in the client services division. I'm sorry, you were saying something, sir?
I said, okay, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Let's go ahead and wrap up.
Okay, so it is an opinion of Orleans Public Defender's Office that Mr. Foucha would stand a better chance of success with the steps that I've detailed in this plan. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, Mr. Delman, would you like to make a statement, or would you like to make a statement after he makes his statement? Or you like to go ahead and make your statement now? Whatever's good for you.
Hi, Chairman. I'd like to make a statement and I'll keep it as brief as I can. My name is Jonathan Delman. I'm Mr. Foucha's attorney, and I'll just address the allegations first very quickly. Ms. Blackwell has written numerous statements. One of them included, I do not remember what I told the deputy. Orleans does take up charges without a witness on these domestic misdemeanors, and they chose to refuse this case. I think that they saw that, you know, after contact with Ms. Blackwell, that there were problems with the allegations. So understanding that the allegations are serious in the police report, these charges were refused and the stay away order was dissolved. And I know DA's office does take that seriously. And speaking of Ms. Blackwell, I've been in touch with her multiple times. There are quotes in the package. She describes Mr. Foucha as a very caring parent that buys their son CJ diapers and food and whatever he needs. CJ recently had major ear, nose, and throat surgery. I know that she and CJ are both missing Christopher greatly and really want him home. While he was incarcerated and when he was incarcerated, it was the offense that he's on parole for is the only offense he was incarcerated for. He took classes including reducing angry feelings, classes relating to mind-altering substance treatment. And since he's been home, I mean, Mr. Foucha is exceptional. I've worked with numerous clients here at the Public Defender's Office. He's a business owner. He owns Bayou Scooter Rentals, which is a scooter rental company down on Decatur Street. And he runs that with a well-known entrepreneur called Raynell Stewart, who's a multimillionaire. This is an individual who has stable housing, who has stable business, has not had so much as a driving infraction since he's been back on parole. This packet is 57 pages long, dozens of letters of support. He has also recently enrolled at Delgado for a master's in business administration. For all of these reasons, I recommend that Mr. Foucha is able to get back into the New Orleans community, to his family, to his job. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, good. Mr. Foucha, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yeah, I like to start off with saying I apologize for even being in these circumstances. Basically, I apologize to my kid mother, you know, really, you know, as we apologized several times already, since the incident happened on August 1st, 2021. We've been greatly, you know, taking care of our kid, you know, doing everything as possible to make sure they're, you know, stable. Also, you know, apology to my parents, you know, and my daughter mother also, from putting them in this situation. I feel like I let them down. I just want to basically do the right thing and be there for my kids, you know, and be there for them, you know, and kind of like take care of my parents like I was doing before I end up in this situation. You know, 2 months been pretty long. I've been, you know, basically scared, you know, hoping that I can get out there and nothing, you know, happen to my kids or anything like that before I can get out there and, you know, and be with them, you know. Like my son went through a surgery. I wasn't able to be there, you know, and that kind of hurt me, definitely. My daughter, you know, I wasn't able to be there for her breakfast and dad luncheon she had, and I never broke it to her where I've been at because I feel like I promised her I'd never be back in here again. So I just been calling from a three-way phone, just trying to, you know, keep her hopes up high and just talk to her like I'm home, but I just can't face to tell her where I'm at right now. But I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys can forgive me and give me another chance to get back out there to my family.
All right, thank you. Prepare to vote, Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Foucha, I want to congratulate you on your business you're running, and you can tell you have a real good head on your shoulders. Y'all are co-parenting. Take the steps necessary to make sure that there's no further conflict between you and Ms. Blackwell. Follow the DA's program and also keep gainful employment, what I think you're doing. My vote is to do not revoke.
Mr. Marabella.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Foucha, you know, I think there's more to this story than you're telling us. I understand how difficult these cases are. I understand what can happen. I think something probably more happened than what happened. You indicated that you understood and realized that there were charges against you. You called someone, they told you, but you didn't do anything about it right away. You made some bad choices. You've done well since then. I think you've got a good plan in place. My vote likewise would be not to revoke, but I would add as a condition that you follow the plan as outlined by the New Orleans Public Defender's Office. Primarily, you get into the domestic violence program and you learn some coping skills. Because if in fact, and I believe probably part of what you're telling me is true, maybe the mother of your child was drinking a little too much, something happened and y'all got into some sort of an argument. You need some skills to be able to make sure those kinds of things don't happen. So I encourage you and I also commend you on your business and I hope everything works out. That's my vote.
All right, 2 votes to do not revoke. I also vote to do not revoke. Want you to return to supervision, but follow up with the care plan that your social worker has in place. I think that's important for you. So 3 votes to do not revoke. Good luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you.